Another F-14 goes down. The Tomcat is grounded worldwide. What's going on with this famous fighter plane? In Sarajevo, not even peace can change hate or fear. Serbs leave a community to be controlled by Muslims. NBC News in depth. Pat Buchanan's war on trade. It works for him. What about the economy? And Schwarzkopf's America, an Arizona woman who feeds the multitudes every day.
From NBC News, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. One of America's premier fighter planes, the F-14, is not in the air tonight anywhere in the world. It's been grounded by the Pentagon after a troubling series of accidents. Is it the plane, the pilots, or just coincidence? NBC's Ed Rabel tonight at the Pentagon.
The no-fly order transmitted worldwide. All of the Navy's F-14 combat jets, 331 of them to be kept down for 72 hours.
It's obviously a concern when you have a series of accidents.
A huge concern. 3 F-14s lost in a month at a cost of 7 lives and $125 million. Today's crash of an F-14 off the carrier Nimitz in the Persian Gulf, the 2 crewmen survived. Last Sunday, 2 crewmen killed when their F-14 from the carrier Vinson went down off the coast of California. And at the end of January, the F-14 crash in Nashville, 2 in the plane and 3 on the ground dead. Now, all the planes are down while worried commanders search for answers.
What they're going to do is basically look at the entire spectrum and just say, you know, what is the cause of these 3 accidents and look at the other crashes that have happened over the last few years.
Power. But how to explain 32 crashes of F-14s since 1991? This one aboard the carrier Kitty Hawk in 1994 was pilot error. Still, he and his radar man ejected and survived, though he floated back down into the fireball. Lieutenant Kara Hultgreen died when her F-14 crashed on approach to the carrier deck, the Navy calling it combination pilot error and engine failure. And it was strictly engine failure exactly a year ago today when this F-14D off the carrier Vinson lost power and went into the Persian Gulf. Both crewmen survived. But those were just 3 of the accidents. In the past 15 years, the Navy says 89 of the jets have crashed.
The Navy has not been able to find a common thread to these accidents.
Navy officials say they know that a 3-day stand-down does not provide enough time to find all of the answers they're looking for. That even their long-term investigation may well show that the crashes were a tragic series of coincidences. Ed Rabel, NBC News, the Pentagon.
In Bosnia, as the uneasy peace continues tonight, there's a dramatic example of the hatreds that divide the people of that embattled country. Under the terms of the peace agreement, the control of some communities will change hands. As NBC's Kevin Tibbles tells us from Sarajevo, the peace agreement can dictate control, but it can't change hearts.
The roads out of the Sarajevo suburb of Vogascha are clogged with Serbs. Some 20,000 have fled in just the last few days. They fear for their lives. Muslims and Serbs once lived together here. During the war, Serbs forced the Muslims out. Tomorrow, following the terms of the peace agreement, this neighborhood comes under the control of the mostly Muslim Bosnian government. 22-year-old Tatjana Simic and her husband have no idea where they'll go, but they're packing up anyway.
Can you live with someone who killed your father, mother, cousin, son? Can you do it?
The fragile peace here has not ended the hatred and fear. Not only are the Serbs who live here fleeing, they're making sure nothing is left behind once they're gone. Many Serbs are destroying their own homes and businesses to keep them out of Muslim hands. In the middle of it all, an American officer tries to convince the Serbs they will be safe, protected by international peacekeepers, but it's a hard sell.
4 years of war, I guess, is a little hard to get over in a couple of days. So they fear for their lives that there's going to be retribution.
The United Nations blames Serb leaders for the exodus, saying their propaganda has inflamed Serb fears.
They don't have to leave at all. And if they do want to leave, they can leave in a month's time or 2 months' time. There's no rush.
But so strong is the Serb desire to live apart from the Muslims that some have even dug up the graves of their dead to rebury them on Serb soil. When Muslim forces take control here tomorrow, supervised by international peacekeepers, they will find few, if any Serbs left. Kevin Tibbles, NBC News, Bogošća, Bosnia.
In France tonight, there was an unexpected change. French President Chirac announcing a major cut in their nuclear weapons program just 1 month after ending their controversial tests in the South Pacific. Chirac, who was widely criticized for those tests, says that France will stop making material for nuclear weapons and scrap their controversial land-based missiles in favor of those on submarines and planes. In Wales, that leaking oil tanker is now safely in port as crews try to save the wildlife refuge on the southwest coast of Britain, hit hard by the 19 million gallons spilled when the tanker ran aground last week. That's almost double the size of the Exxon Valdez spill in 1989. When NBC Nightly News continues, high-octane gas, better performance, or a costly waste of your money?
We are concerned that there's a widespread pattern of advertising by the gasoline industry to convince people to buy higher-octane gasoline.
What the government wants you to know before you put it in your tank. And coming up next, football great Warren Moon cleared of abusing his wife, but troubling questions remain.
Welcome to a place where a quiet moment fuels great thoughts, where the coffee stirs the conversation, and the steamiest moments are found in a cup. It's not a coffee house. It's a place called home. Introducing Italian Espresso Roast from Maxwell House. Coffee house coffee you can brew in your regular coffee maker. Deep, intense, but not bitter. It's the first coffee house coffee that's good to the last drop.
Alan's asthma attack woke me. At 3 a.m., you don't try some unknown brand. You trust Primatene Mist.
It starts to open clogged breathing passages in as fast as 15 seconds.
We take asthma seriously with Primatene Mist.
Fastest type asthma relief without a prescription.
Denture wearers don't let anything keep you from getting close, especially denture odor. Get Polident. It's loaded with minty mouthwash ingredient. It controls denture odor and cleans tough stains in just 5 minutes. Get Polident fresh and granddaughter close.
What's got Dion acting so sweet?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you trying to catch this?
It could only be new Honey Frosted Wheaties, the new frosted flake that's kicked with Wheaties energy for a primetime taste.
Can I get anyone a beverage?
New Honey Frosted Wheaties. It's sweet energy.
Hey, Junior, you like the crunch, right? Right. Then you gotta try Crispy Wheaties and Raisins, a raisin cereal with a big crunch.
I love to crunch. Ah! Offside!
Come crunch time, there's only one. New from Wheaties, Crispy Wheaties and Raisins.
In Texas tonight, pro football's Warren Moon not guilty of charges of abusing his wife. But in this case, there was a trial within a trial. It involved a Texas law compelling the alleged victims of abuse to testify, whether they wanted to or not. Here's NBC's Jim Cummins.
It took the jury of 4 women and 2 men only 27 minutes to reach a verdict.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Harold Warren Moon, Jr., not guilty.
Not guilty of beating his wife, Felicia, during a fight at their home last July. The prosecution used this photo during closing arguments, leading to this awkward moment.
This man sitting right here, Mr. Harold Warren Moon, Jr., did to this sweet, innocent lady, right here, Mrs. Moon.
Felicia Moon, the victim, did not want to press charges, did not want a trial, but she was forced to testify for the prosecution under a Texas law that in effect abolishes the spousal privilege of not testifying against the other spouse in domestic violence cases.
It's a good law, and it will go forward.
But it's a controversial law already on the books in 45 other states. It's supposed to put men on notice that women will be required by law to testify in cases of domestic violence. Civil libertarians complain in some cases it helps prosecutors more than victims.
I think the law had that in mind at first to benefit victims, but it's really put them in a really bad situation where they're forced to either choose jail because of perjury or perhaps further abuse.
In fact, when Felicia Moon took the stand, she testified that she started the fight. Her husband did not hit her during the struggle, only choked her while trying to calm her down. That differs from what she first told the police. And Felicia Moon answered those who criticized her for not pressing charges.
The women who feel that I betrayed them were not in my bedroom on July the 18th.
Amen.
This trial is over, but the debate continues to rage over laws that force women to testify in cases of domestic abuse. Jim Cummins, NBC News.
In Washington this evening, President Clinton renominated Alan Greenspan to a third term as chairman of the Federal Reserve and named his budget director, Alice Rivlin, to the Fed's #2 job. He also chose St. Louis economist Lawrence Meyer to fill a vacancy on the Fed board. A banner day on Wall Street today. The Dow is up 92 points, another record in very heavy trading. The NASDAQ was also up to a record for that stock exchange. When we come back, NBC News In Depth tonight, Pat Buchanan wants to build a fortress America. What would that mean for you? We'll have some answers tonight in depth.
At a height of 19 feet, the awkward-looking giraffe would appear to be at a disadvantage in the jungle. But in fact, his height is his greatest asset, allowing him to graze where others can't, easily survey the land, and take gigantic strides when threatened by predators. The preceding has been brought to you by the all-new Nissan Pathfinder, now with a higher stance and more headroom.
So I just got married, and my husband says, try Crispix. Crispix doesn't get soggy in milk. Hey, I love the guy, but nobody's perfect. Okay, it starts off crispy. Now, this spoonful is still crispy, but it's gonna turn soggy. So he makes a little mistake.
Kellogg's Crispix cereal. Delicious corn and rice that stays crispy to the end.
Last bite, it's gonna be soggy. Hey, it's still crispy. He is perfect, so far.
I love movies. Always have. Ever since I was a kid. That's why I got Prime Star. With 95 channels, I get old movies, new movies, all kinds of movies. All in digital picture and sound. Well, I didn't have to buy the dish either. With Prime Star, there is no equipment to buy. It's all a part of the service. It all starts for about $1 a day. Life's short. Enjoy.
Call 1-800-PRIME-STAR.
On NBC News In Depth tonight, the Republican presidential candidate with the momentum, Pat Buchanan, continuing today to hammer home the theme that sold so well in New Hampshire: jobs, the economy, putting America first. We've all heard the sound bites, but what is Buchananomics all about? We begin our in-depth reporting tonight with NBC's chief economics correspondent, Mike Jensen.
People first. Pat Buchanan wants to change the way America does business.
I will build a security fence, and we will seal the border of this country cold.
He'd also slap huge tariffs on imports, he says, to keep jobs at home if he makes it to the White House.
And let me tell you something, friends. When I get there, we will cancel NAFTA. There'll be no more $50 billion bailouts of socialist regimes anywhere on earth.
It's a clear appeal to the pocketbook and jobs, but most mainstream economists say Buchanan is way off base.
Buchananite program, which would disrupt this whole system of world markets, is going to throw millions of people out of work. He's basically saying, let America do the things we do badly, like sewing shirts, which is something that can be done by almost anybody in the world, and let's stop doing the things we do really well, like making airplanes and highly sophisticated computers, which are what we export to the rest of the world. So his is a program to make us poorer by concentrating on doing the things that we don't do very well.
We're going on to the nomination.
Buchanan's message seems to go beyond economics to a kind of nationalism. Cheryl Egan in New York.
Well, I like his the way he feels about trade. You know that America needs to come first.
Here are the highlights of Buchananomics. The U.S. resigns from NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, and also resigns from the World Trade Organization. A tariff of 10% is slapped on imports from Japan, a 40% tariff on imports from China. There's a 5-year moratorium on legal immigration. Buchanan's brand of economics has struck a chord because so many Americans are afraid of losing their jobs and are looking for someone to blame it on. Ron Bone in Manhattan.
It's the stockholders coming out ahead and the workers come out on the short end of a very short stick, because even when the firms are doing well, they're not doing well.
Buchanan says he became a protectionist after he toured shuttered factories in New Hampshire in 1992. But at this computer company in New Hampshire, which exports almost a third of its products, Buchanan-style protectionism would cost 700 jobs, says the boss, Craig Benson.
I think the policies are crazy. He wants to build a wall around America. We're not going to be able to export our products around the world. It's going to lose jobs in the United States, and therefore, because we're non-competitive throughout the world, our prices are going to go up here in the United States market as well.
But Buchanan has tapped into a market for simple answers.
He stands for what America wants right now. More jobs for all the people. The jobs have been leaving the country. He wants to bring them back, and for that reason alone, I'm for him.
Buchanan is calling for a kind of fortress America. Most economists and business executives call that a disaster. Mike Jensen, NBC News, New York.
So, how do the other two front-running Republicans stand on these issues? Senate Majority Leader Bob Dole has supported free trade agreements, but during the campaign, he said he wants to take another look to make sure that they're fair. On taxes, Dole wants to exempt families earning less than $30,000 a year from federal income taxes. He has endorsed a constitutional amendment that would require a 3/5 majority in Congress to raise taxes. And he's also for a constitutional amendment to require a balanced federal budget. As for former Tennessee Governor Lamar Alexander, he aggressively courted foreign investment in his state. He supports free trade agreements for the United States. He did raise taxes in Tennessee, but on the campaign trail, he has promised not to raise them if he's elected president. He, too, is for a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution. We'll have more of the day's news when we come back. Still ahead, Norman Schwarzkopf's America. Finding neighbors, helping neighbors. Good news about what's going on in this country today.
Subtle traces of crimson on your toothbrush and in your sink. Bleeding gums. If you've ever suffered this unpleasant experience, beware. You may be one of over 80 million people afflicted with the gum disease gingivitis. Gum disease is caused by germs. Listerine kills them. It's the only brand clinically proven to help prevent the gum disease gingivitis. Don't say your gums didn't warn you. Listerine, the power of prevention.
When I want clam chowder, I want the real thing. Nothing wimpy. And now Healthy Choice makes this great clam chowder. Thick, creamy, really chunky, and less than 3 grams of fat. With Healthy Choice chowder, I eat what I like. This is for real.
If you've seen one Raisin Bran, you've seen them all.
What could be so different about Total Raisin Bran?
Compare your Raisin Bran to Total Raisin Bran. We guarantee it tastes better than Kellogg's or Post, and it's more nutritious.
There's 100% of all these vitamins in Total.
Ooh.
There's not 100% of anything in Post.
It's really something.
Get Total Raisin Bran and get 100% total satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. See special side panel for details.
There's obviously a difference. I stand corrected.
You're going to have to open that bag, ma'am.
Well, if you insist. Plump, delicious Sunsweet bite-sized pitted prunes. Sunsweet, always a sweet idea.
What are you sending?
It's for Carlos.
In California?
It's a book about maturity.
He can't buy a book about maturity?
AT&T True Reach Savings saves you 25% on all kinds of U.S. calls on your AT&T phone bill when you spend just $25 a month.
Even 2,000 miles away, Jimmy. Privacy? I'm gonna call you day and night, every hour.
Every hour?
True Reach Savings. That's your true choice, AT&T.
Flooding has forever changed the nature of the Northwest. Tonight at 6:30, the News Channel's John Captain shows you the new thrills and new dangers waiting on Northwest rivers.
Tonight at 6:30 on Northwest News Channel 8. Sky 8, only on Northwest News Channel 8.
We have an update tonight on a story that we brought you last year. A Milwaukee medical lab charged with reckless homicide for misreading the pap smears of 2 women who then later died of cervical cancer. The lab received a maximum penalty today, but it was a fine of only $20,000. The judge in the case called the fine absolutely inadequate. He's asked the state legislature to set higher penalties in medical misconduct cases. From the federal government tonight, action on those ads for high-octane gasoline. If you think the claims, better performance, cleaner burning gas sound too good to be true, you're right. Here's NBC's Robert Hager.
For years, the government has said motorists are being ripped off, wasting $2 or $3 billion a year on high-octane gasolines they don't need. And today, the Federal Trade Commission cracked down on an industry giant, Amoco.
What's clear? Crystal clear Amoco Ultimate. What isn't? All other premium gasolines.
But the FTC says there's no proof that clear gas makes cars run any better than other gasolines. And no proof it's cleaner either. No proof to support claims made in its multi-million-dollar ad campaign.
What's clear? Why we do it. For unsurpassed performance and a cleaner environment.
Today, the FTC barred Amoco from making those claims.
Under the action the Commission announced today, Amoco will no longer be able to entice consumers to buy the higher octane gasoline than they actually need to run their car properly.
In a statement, Amoco said it believes the ads and the claims made in those ads were substantiated. But Amoco agreed not to contest the FTC's finding.
The FTC, the American Automobile Association, and auto manufacturers all agree there's no good reason to buy more expensive premium gasolines. Except for a few high-performance sports cars and a few older cars, the vast majority of vehicles on the road will run just fine on 87-octane regular gasoline. And that's just what's recommended in almost all owners' manuals.
Twice before, the FTC has cut off claims by gas companies. In 1991, after Sunoco bragged its 94-octane was highest under the sun and would make cars accelerate best. And in 1993, after this ad for Union 76 gas.
Our 92 unleaded. It's the highest level octane gasoline you can buy to help your car run better, longer.
In both cases, the FTC said the premium gasoline wouldn't make any difference for most drivers, only in the cost, as much as $1,000 in unneeded extra expense over the life of the average car. Robert Hager, NBC News, Washington.
In other news tonight, a wild ride for 4 crew members on board a cargo jet that landed at Miami Airport today. Landed hard after the hydraulics controlling the plane's nose wheel failed. The 707 had to come down without it. No one on board was hurt. Now to NBC News Online, beyond the day's headlines. Do you think computers are impersonal? Well, this weekend, international computer chat and some quick thinking may have saved a life.
Mr. Walker in Scotland had joined us. When he started typing that he was having difficulty, he first said something strange is going on, and then he said, I think I'm having a stroke.
I wasn't aware of it, but my fellow users could see that my typing was becoming erratic, lots of misspellings, and then finally there was no communication from me.
I turned around and called my local telephone operator, who very quickly patched me to international, and within a few seconds was talking to an operator in Scotland.
His call was patched through to Arbroath, and an ambulance arrived here in 4 minutes. Oh, I'm feeling better today, a bit tired, but thankful that I was in communication with somebody.
When you see somebody in need, that's what you do.
I'll be back in a moment. Norman Schwarzkopf's America.
Where's that baby? I brought you a little something. A little something. It was yummy.
Great, thanks.
A little goodie.
Good news for anyone who's ever eaten for 2. The same medicine you keep handy for upset stomach and diarrhea also comforts indigestion.
I never knew that.
As Pepto-Bismol coats, it helps strengthen your stomach's protection against too much food and drink.
How's my baby?
Much better, thanks.
When you overdo it, take comfort in Pepto.
On my really pounding headaches, Tylenol didn't always get rid of all the pain. I found that 2 Advil work better than 2 Tylenol gel caps. For my tough headaches, Advil just works better. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Welcome to a place where a quiet moment fuels great thoughts, where the coffee stirs the conversation, and the steamiest moments are found in a cup. It's not a coffee house. It's a place called home. Introducing Italian Espresso Roast from Maxwell House. Coffee house coffee you can brew in your regular coffee maker. Deep, intense, but not bitter. It's the first coffee house coffee that's good to the last drop.
You know, meat's a dog's natural food. Meat's what they love. So that's why I feed mine Pedigree, the #1 meat dog food in America. It's 100% complete and balanced and keeps them in great shape.
Pedigree, developed with vets, recommended by top breeders.
For the first time in history, an FDA advisory panel has concluded that a 12-hour antihistamine has been proven to work on colds. No other antihistamine has ever received this level of acceptance. And it can only be found in one brand of medicine. That medicine is Tavis D. Proven safe, prescription strength, Tavis D. The only one with 12 hours of proven relief.
Dateline Friday. A runaway freight train slams into the side of a building. One man trapped for hours.
We had emergency down here. We had many people hurt.
A Dateline survivor story. Friday.
It's Thursday, time for Norman Schwarzkopf's America, when the hero of Operation Desert Storm finds other heroes here at home. Tonight, the general goes to Arizona, where he found a woman after his own heart, a take-charge commander in the war on hunger.
The United States is a land of plenty, all right. But all too often, what we hear about is plenty of selfishness and plenty of waste. Sometimes it's enough to get me down. But then I heard about an inspiring woman here in Arizona. Her name is Vi Koshar, and her friends are an army of volunteers for the West Side Food Bank in the Phoenix area.
When we descend upon these trees, it's really tremendous, you know.
Vi, how do you find out about these trees?
People call West Side Food Bank and donate the citrus on their trees, and hundreds of us go out each week and gather this fruit from neighborhood backyards. Ow!
Whoops. They move on to the next job, and the citrus moves on to help the needy. Over the past 6 years, Vi Koshar has done every single job there is to do here at the West Side Food Bank. So she's well qualified to take us on a tour today.
We have about 2,400 volunteers.
You have
So
2,400?
That's right, yeah.
How many hours a month do you volunteer?
I volunteer. Well, last year it averaged about 42 to 45 hours a week. It's very labor intensive. We're probably impacting the lives of about 250,000 people.
I've done some research, and 25 million senior citizens do volunteer work. That's almost half of all the senior citizens in this country.
That doesn't surprise me at all. We're all interested in volunteering in this area. This is our oldest volunteer right here. This is Marion Stone. Marion, I'd like you to meet the general.
Hi, Marion.
How are you?
And how old are you?
97, right? 97 next month.
It's wonderful that you're working here.
That's the only place I can get it done.
Okay, would you like to help with some of the juicing?
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
All right. The first thing you have to do, though, is you have to put on a hairnet, and we have to wash our hands.
A hairnet?
That's right. Health department rule. Wait till your wife sees this. Do you know if volunteers get injured cutting these things, they get a Purple Heart on their name tag?
Oh, excuse me, Bruno. What do you suppose the boomers of the 1950s would say if you told them that 30 years later, the Howdy Doody puppets their parents bought them for $5 would be going for 30 times that by the time they and Howdy reach middle age?
Hi, I'm Jim Leinfelder, and I want to tell you about a new show called Neat Stuff. This is a show about collecting, but not that dusty, musty museum stuff. No, we're talking neat stuff here. So get ready for a fast-paced ride through the world of neat stuff. Sundays at 7 here on OPB.
Are rewards the best motivation for learning? Education expert Alfie Cohn offers his views Sunday, February 25th at Portland State University. For more information, call 503-725-4670.
Funding for the News Hour with Jim Lehrer has been provided by the professional contractors of the NECA and union electricians of IBEW Local 48, working together to realize your vision for the future. And by Activate Cellular Sales. It's simple, available at major malls throughout the Northwest.